Pirata, you know, he's going to be sadly missed. Look, if Pirata gets the right run from a little bit of a tricky barrier in barrier 9, he'll definitely look to win us somewhere. He's, you know, last year's winner of the race. But I think, all given that, on speed maps and horses in form, I think Bivouac from the soft barrier in barrier 4, I just think with the right run, I don't think Huey Bowman will be back as far as what he was last time out. I think he'll be given the perfect ride, and he'll be very, very hard to hold out, I think, Bivouac. If you're rides at the bottom weights, but, you know, his form since coming back from Singapore's second to none. You know, he's won all the big races.
Won Bivouac for his third this season. He's, well, his stud future is already assured, and Pirata just simply brilliant last year, winning the race. Bruce, he's a big chance to go back-to-back. This is quite a lineup, isn't it, for the All Aged?
And back-to-back's been pretty good.
Katie's got him on top, Katie. Rough Habit, the last to win back-to-back. That was 92, 93.
Yeah, I think he can do it today. It's been a long time since it's been done before, but he can make history, this horse. He's such a dude, the way he walks around. He is a picture of health. The only concern I've got is whereabouts he's going to get to in the running. I just hope he's not too far back, and I hope he's not too far forward. If he can get that sweet run, I think he's going to be the winner.
And that's my concern with Santa Ana Lane. Gee, I think he's racing really well. And now as a 7-year-old, I think he needs the 1,400 metres. He was so good in the TJ. That was a red-hot TJ, we know that. He was beaten 2 lengths by Nature Strip. He defeated most of the other runners in this race. 1,400 metres. The problem is that he has to go back. So he is, in many ways, a victim of the tempo. The tempo needs to be solid to allow him an opportunity to storm over the top. And, Katie, the key runner from Santa Ana Lane's point of view is probably this guy, Dreamforce, because he needs to set a good tempo.
Yeah, and I think he will do just that. He's drawn out there, so Nash will have to push forward. I'm sure he'll have a couple of horses underneath, not letting him get away with the sectionals that he can get. So, you know, as long as he doesn't have to do too much work, I'm sure that he'll be fighting out the finish.
Here's the best roughie in the race for mine. I can't believe the price he's been all week in number 4, Fierce Impact.
Yeah, I was just speaking to Matty Smith. He said this horse is jumping out of his skin, and that's why that he's running in this race. So Tom Marquand had a sit on him the other day. He galloped unbelievably, and yeah, I can't believe his price either.
5 is Mr. Seawolf's an outsider. 6 the scratching. Star of the Seas probably needs it wet. White Moss out of her grade. But Henry, here's Tafane. You just got to believe what you saw last start.
She's going terrifically well, this mare. She's been really good. She was good in the TJ without a heap of luck. The way the track's playing today, I've had 2 of my trusted form analysts, Paul McClure and James Wilson, have just messaged me before, and they've said if she sits behind them and gets a crack at them, she'll be winning today. She really sort of accelerates well. The 1,400, she's bred to get it. She's out of Galileo mare by Ocean Park.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the first time she's having a crack at it, but she does tick a lot of boxes, doesn't she? For Sika, well, we know there's an X factor about her.
There is indeed. I thought she had every chance to win last time. White Moss held her off. She comes in on this a 20 to 1 chance. That's probably about where she's at after last start. White Moss meets her better off at the weights. Bivouac, horse number 11 for Huey Bowman, who won the race with Racing to Win. We know that the 3-year-olds have a good 3-year-old has got a good record in the race. Think about Trapeze, Artisan, All Too Hard. You've got to be a quality 3-year-old, though. Yeah, well, his Newmarket win had to be seen to be believed. He was dominant that day, beating Loving Gabby. Just wasn't as dynamic around Moonee Valley. He sort of got pested all the way. He should get a really nice run behind him. He just got dragged too far back last time and never got into it. But if he can get a soft run just behind him, he'll be really strong late. Now, Johnny Sargent has put the blinkers on Brandon Berg and put Rachel King on as well. No female jockey in history, 155 years of this race, has ever won before. He has a big chance here to produce a win for Rachel. Well, hopefully Rachel can be the first. As you say, the blinkers first time probably need to elicit some sort of response. I think Super Seth meets him a lot better at the weights and was probably almost as good as him last time. He'll put himself in a good position, or Rachel will put him in a good position. He's honest, he'll run well, but is he a weight for H horse? Is the dry track the key to Super Seth? Well, I think so. He was just poorly in at the weights in the Doncaster. I don't think it was the right race for him, and I think back to the 1,400 probably suits. He should, once again, he maps to get a really nice run, and maybe the tongue tie will improve him. I'm not sure the rationale for that, but anyway. What about Bossy? He won with Private Steer in the mighty Hay List. He's on standout here. A colt who's been saved for this race. He can go forward. He's got a turn of foot. Gerald Ryan is brilliant at picking the right races for the 3-year-olds.
Gee, Jared, this is a super race.
Absolute cracker, Richo. Bivouac has stormed into favouritism here. $4.60 into as short as $3.90. Now $4, the Newmarket winner and Golden Rose winner from back in the spring. On the second line of betting is Piarada, which was the favourite this morning at $4.20. Now $4.80 chance. Santa Ana Lane still best backed overall. We've been happy to push it out half a point from 5 to 5.50. Super Seth. How about this move in the last half an hour? It's 23 into $12. We have laid Fierce Impact, but been happy to let it drift 14 out to $19. Not long left, Richo, to get your Swanky socks. We've raised more than $60,000 for equine welfare so far, and the Wink socks, the most popular there, just over $16,000 worth of sales on them. To get them, just go to swankysocks.com/tab-sock-stable.
Here's James Cummings, the trainer of Bivouac.
I'm joined by James Cummings, who's trained 5 Group 1 victories this season, and 2 of those victories have been Bivouac. Can we make it 3 today?
Well, I think we can, but I think it's a really tough all-age stakes this year, and so it should be. A genuine Group 1 weight for age event.
Genuine Group 1 race, there's no doubting that. And there's the defending champion in Piarada, trying to do what the mighty Rough Habit did in 92 and 93 and win back-to-back all ages. Sunline, well, she had a year between her 2 wins in the all age, winning in 2000 and then coming back in 2002 and winning at $1.35 after winning the Coolmore and the Doncaster. An incredible horse she was, but only the second best horse of the 1990s, according to Bruce. Am I starting to poke the bear there, Bruce?
Look, honestly, I change my mind every minute, so you can do what you like, Richo. It was a tough call. Gee, it's a good race. I'm with Santa Ana Lane, but I worry a little bit about Barrier 1, but I think if the pace is strong enough with Dreamforce, you mentioned him a couple of times with Katie about he could be the key. I think Santa Ana Lane at his best is certainly the best horse in this race, and he was close to that, I reckon, last start. He hasn't won since the TJ Smith 12 months ago, but he's run very, very well. You think about that Everest, I think about his last start. I think he's actually, right now, looking like he's a 1,400-metre horse as much as he is a 1,200-metre horse. So I reckon he's going to get Group 1 number 6 today and win. So I'm with Santa Ana Lane, but it is, I think, as good an all age as we have seen.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to run a sensational race. Who's the hot horse here, Jared?
Super Seth. This some move, 23 into $11, Richo.
Well, Super Seth. Where is he on the speed map for you, Katie?
Just behind the speed, Richo, from that nice barrier. Santa Ana Lane's going to find himself in a tricky spot, but just interesting enough, watching and listening to the whole connections of Santa Ana Lane is before he even stepped out this preparation, they've been saying how much of a 1,400-metre horse he is this prep. So I agree with Bruce on this one, but I'm hoping Piarada can win the race.
All right, so some thoughts coming into the Sweps All Age Stakes. Henry, who would you like to put a saddle on?
I really think Tofano's been trending well towards this, and I think she'll sit behind them. If she can have any luck, I think she'll burst through.
Chris, a jockey you'd like to put under the microscope?
Well, I think it's a horse as well. Sylvia's mother, Kay McAvoy. I think this Sylvia's mother's got a big chance today at odds.
Just too wet the other day.
Yeah, I agree. And Kay McAvoy, we haven't seen as much as him as we would have liked over the autumn. He's been around the mark, but not getting those G1 winners. But look, he's one of my favourite jockeys to watch and to deal with. Third-generation jockey. His father, Phil, he left his achievements back in Streaky Bay. That was a joke, Phil. I'm sure he's watching. I'm just going to give him a cheerio. But I'm sure from what we can see on social media, there's going to be a 4th gen come through, because have you seen those kids?
Those kids are on fire. They certainly are. Of course, when you marry a Payne in Cathy, it's a fair chance that McAvoy's and the Paynes combined, there's going to be a jockey amongst them. Kerry McAvoy, 76 career Group 1, 67 of them in Australia, 9 over in Europe, where he was a brilliant rider for Darley and Godolphin. But you're right, hasn't won a Group 1 in this autumn. He won't be the punter's pal if he does it here with Sylvia's mother. Here it is, the Schweppes All Age Stakes, Group 1, $500,000 up for grabs.
1400 metres, and Star of the Seas drawn the outside as the last to go forward. So we're ready to run, 1400 metres ahead of them. The light is on. Stand by for a start. Racing now, and Super Seth missed the start by a half length or so, and White Moss jumped very quickly, together with Dreamforce and Fasika's right there, and Berry's got Parada up running fourth. In front of Bivouac, then came to Farnay, and standouts caught pretty deep early. Further back to Brandenburg, Sylvia's mother, Santa Ana Lane. He's got about 4 behind him early. Fierce Impact, Super Seth. 2 off to Star of the Seas, and Mr. Seawolf is last. So White Moss has been able to lead comfortably. Out by 2 lengths on Fasika, and Dreamforce takes a sit in third. A half the outside to Parada is very close in the runner. 2 lengths further back to Bivouac on the inside at Tafane. Stand out 3 wide. Then came Brandenburg from Santa Ana Lane, Sylvia's mother. Further back then to Super Seth on the rails as they come up to the home turn. And White Moss is free rolling in the lead at big odds. Turns 2 in front of Fasika. Then Dreamforce. Parada being stoked up. Tafane gets going. Bivouac travels well on the inside. 300 metres to run. White Moss coming back to Fasika. Coming hard now is Parada and Tafane the outside. Parada and Tafane hit the front together at the 250. It's Parada on the inside at Tafane. Parada, he's looking to go out a winner. Tafane's trying to spoil his party. It's Parada in front from Tafane. Oh, close. Parada and Tafane. Tafane really dived right on the peg. Not sure about third for Seeker and Super Seth. Then came Santa Ana Lane from Bivouac. Further back to Brandenburg, Fierce Impact. White Moss from Star of the Seas, Mr. Seawolf. A big gap back to Sylvia's mother, Dreamforce. And Standout after the wide trip was last.
What a race. We wait for the photo. Has Parada, has Tommy sent him out a winner? Or has Tafane, this quality mare, the New Zealand bred mare, has she nailed him right on the line for Mike Moroney and Opie Boston, 2 of the great jockeys going toe-to-toe. Tommy says, come on, Parada, finish in style. And Tafane right on the line, puts her nose down. Does she get it? Your gut feel is she does, but we wait to see the photo. That angle can be hard to judge. She looks really prominent. The more you look at it, Tafane will get it, and she does. First time to 1400 metres. Poor old Parada just misses an opportunity to be back-to-back champion of the All Age. He goes off to stud as a former star now of the turf. And we've seen a beauty in Rupert Lee's colours, made famous with Chautauqua. Mike Moroney won the race with Tavachi, and Opie Bosson gets another win. That makes it 76 for him. What a star jockey. Bruce had literally had it all. This mare was super.
Fantastic race, Richo, wasn't it? Well done to you, Henry. You gave us a big push, didn't you? She is a super mare. I mean, she handled Pippi, didn't she, on Derby Day and the Begonia Bell, but that's a different level to this. Pirata, God, he's a good horse. He is third time second in a Group 1. He got the Group 1 in this race last year. Other good runs include Super Seth, but Tafane, Mike Moroney, we've talked about the fact, Richo, we all know what a great trainer he's been, but he's had almost a rejuvenation in the last 18 months. He started this autumn with the first Group 1, didn't he? Alabama Express, and he finishes it with a Group 1 winner with Tafane. So well done to him. And Opie Bosson, well, that quarantine's going to feel a lot better for him when he goes there and then joins up with Max and Emily, eh?
Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, for Opie, that's 76. When we interviewed Mike Moroney after Alabama Express won at the start of this autumn, he believed it was his 50th career Group 1. There's been a little bit of conjecture whether it is because of our lack of really precise data in racing, but whatever the number is, it's pretty high, and that was a sensational win. Tafane defeats Parada and Super Seth. So Super Seth turns his form around. What a win to that mare. Tafane, first time at 1400 metres, wins a Group 1.
I think Max thought I was probably having a fit or something. I was screaming that loud, but unbelievable. And that's Opie's 11th Group 1 for the season. So it's just been incredible. But the really big thanks goes to all those stables and amazing trainers and stable hands who are preparing these horses so beautifully for him to ride. But what an opportunity he's been given this season, and really proud of him to see him making it all worthwhile there on the big stage with you.
Yeah, sensational win, and a big prize money comes into the account, so it's a good day for Prada with you. But we're worried about the sheep. So you're only on half pay today because we haven't seen you for a long time. I want you to know, what has been the race of the autumn for you?
Oh, it has to be Catalyst versus Alligator Blood. That was just a clash of the titans, and we had such a high opinion of Catalyst, and he'd only really done it against these horses in New Zealand. He'd beaten them by panels, but to go to Australia and do it at that level and make it a fair race, it could have gone either way. It was a nod on the line. Really, really proud, and I think you're going to see him come back and do some pretty special things in the future, and maybe they can have a...
Well, we had a little pause.